It's Christmas, baby. But instead of getting your mom that necklace that you know she wants, you're gonna teach her how to use Claude Code with MCP servers the correct way, like a good son would. And I'm here to show you how to do it. So you're gonna follow along and you're gonna learn how to set up these MCP servers real quick. Now for this, we're gonna be using context 7. And if you do not know what context 7 is yet, it's pretty much just a giant up-to-date documentation on other MCP servers or other services, you name it, right? It's good to have. And for MCPs in general, you are gonna be needing an API code, and that's why, baby, I already hooked this up. So if you scroll down here, I already have my API code right here. You can make it yourself just by signing in to context 7. I trust you know how to do that. Otherwise, I make a tutorial for signing in and remembering your email. Now, once you have your API key, you can go into the GitHub repository. And from the top, you're just gonna scroll down and find Claude Code that we're gonna be using. And here there are 2 different kinds of MCP servers that you can build. And this includes the first command that you're gonna give, Claude. Yeah, that's pretty basic, right? You're just gonna do it for pretty much all the MCPs that you wanna do, that you wanna add from the terminal. And the transport is just HTTP. There used to be another option called SSE. It was the old school version. It was what they used back in 1894. And you're just gonna add context 7 because that's what we're trying to download here. Here we have the name of the server. That's just context 7 in this case. And after that, we're gonna be adding in the URL. And we're obviously also just gonna add in a header, and we already have our API key, so that makes it all the easier, baby. So we just copy this, and then we're gonna go into Claude Code. Now here we are in Claude Code. And from here, you're just gonna open up the terminal. It's pretty easy, right? Just gonna go in here, or you can select it from here. And then we're just gonna paste in the documentation of this kind of HTTP MCP server that we're trying to set up. And usually it is that simple for a lot of cases. You can even also be a real noob and just ask the LLM part to do it, but I would not recommend that. It does tend to make some mistakes. Don't want that. Not on Christmas. We're just gonna be setting up our own, and I'm just gonna do that in 2 seconds. So now I'm just gonna paste in my API key and let's run it, man. Let's put in a 7 and run it, man. You also have to remember to close this off. Otherwise, the system just kind of registers that it's, keep going. You have to close off. You have to close off your API keys. That's what I'm trying to say. I forgot to close it off. And you have to remember to do that. So just at the end of your API key, and we should be good. Let the magic happen. And here we are. So now the HTTP version of this MCP server should be added into Claude. Now, HTTP servers function differently than the standard I/O servers in that they rely on an external server to actually do their work. That's why it's called HTTP, right? They send it to the server, and the server brings in the response back. But now, all we need to do is just reset our instance. And now we should be able to just go in here and check our MCP servers, and it should be connected, baby. So yeah, that's how you set up an HTTP MCP server on Claude Code. But why not? I'm also gonna show you how to set up a standard I/O version, even though it probably is not gonna work on my computer because there's this sort of bug with Windows and standard I/O. I think it's something like it's already the original operating system or something. The safe way is just to use an HTTP version, but it's up to you. You're your own person, man. I'm not your boss. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna just say, Claude, yo, guess what, man? You remember that MCP I just told you to install? It's context 7. Well, just remove it, man. And it should remove it. There we go. So now I'm gonna teach you how to set up the standard I/O version. Even though I usually just recommend going with the HTTP one, the standard I/O could be better. for locally running Claude Code. So now that we're back here in the GitHub version for context 7, I'm going to show you how to install the standard IO version of context 7. You may notice that the transport does not need to be specified here, and that is because usually the MCP servers are using standard IO as the standard, surprisingly, right? The way you install this, it's pretty similar to the HTTP version. You're just gonna copy it and you're gonna go into Claude Code. So here we are back in VS Code. And yet again, we're just gonna use the terminal, paste it from here, load in my API key, and you would think this would work, right? But we're getting an error. Now, this tends to happen when you're not using the right terminal. There's some problems, some issues with it. Like an easy fix for this, if you don't wanna get too much of a headache out of this, is just to go over and select here, just go with a simple command prompt. Paste it in and your API key. And now it probably, God willing, should work. And we see here, it added the MCP server context 7 onto my system. But there is a known Windows bug that makes it so that when I actually try to run this MCP server, oh my, okay, there is not a Windows bug that makes it so that when I run my MCP server, it doesn't work. Apparently it should work just fine. So there you go. It's 2 simple as ways to install MCPs on Claude. And once you do this, you're not going to deal with any more BS. Like if you use the LLM to make me every CP under the sun, right? Like you don't want to do that. You just want to use the terminal, go into the documentation, get that API key. Usually it's free. Some of them you have to pay a little bit. But at the end of the day, you can always rely on the HTTP node to do the work for you. And if not, there's always the standard IO. Otherwise, you can just choose fucking Claude Code LLM to do it for you. And you didn't hear from me. Now, a thing I forgot to explain was that you can type S and local for just this one project that you're working on right now. And to use this globally, you just have to type in S user. And now it's available on all your different projects. Otherwise, a happy medium is just S onto project. Now, this is just like a happy medium where you can share this with your developers or other people working on this project. Now, that was it. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you know how to set up MCP servers like a pro, or at least like me. If you have any feedback on the video, if you think it was great, if you think it sucks, just let me know down in the comments. Remember to subscribe if you want to. That would be nice. Alternatively, if you are a business and you want me to give you a free consultation on how to actually implement AI, such as Claude Code, if you will run, or N8N. I'm a little bit better at N8N than I am at Claude Code. But if you do want to get a free consultation, just click the link. Otherwise, just have a happy day and a happy Christmas and a good New Year as well. See you.